All right, go ahead and pull out your notebook. Good morning, Giants, and welcome back to day 2 of proofs. Okay, so today, once again, we're going to start off. This first proof has a little bit of it done. It's the framework. Okay, it's already got the statements, and we want to list our reasons here. So if we look, remember our first reason, we always know this first one is the easiest one because it is always our given. If you ever forget that, hopefully you can look right here, see given, and that is our first reason. Now to get from line 1 to line 2, we see that 2x and 0.25x combine. So that is CLT, combined like terms. Okay, to line 3, we move that 12 over. We subtract it, so that's subtraction. Now this final step, make sure you never put the word prove. I know we're trying to prove that x equals 12, and that's what we've done here. But prove will never go over here as a reason. It will always be wrong if you put prove, okay? We are trying to prove why does x equal 12, and the reason we get 12 is right here, 2.25, if we divide, so division. And I know that might be a little intimidating because it's 2.25 divided by a decimal, but you guys have calculators on your phones, right? You guys have calculators, you have the internet. You can solve 27 divided by 2.25. It's the same concept of what we've done before, just now there's a decimal. So maybe you can't do it in your head. That's fine. Just use a calculator. All right. So once again, if you need more time, go ahead and pause it. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to this next proof here. And we have our picture over here on the right, and we have some given information. So let's fill that given information in. The measure of angle ABC equals 80. And if you want to, ABC, if I go up here, ABC is 80. So that large angle is 80. And our reason, that was given to us. Okay, now, if you look here, if we're adding the two smaller parts together to equal the big part, that, yesterday we did a problem with segment addition postulate. Instead of a segment here, we are adding the angles. So that's going to be angle addition. All right, then hopefully you know instead of ABD here, they put 3x plus 3 because over here they look, and that's what ABD is. DBC here is 6x plus 5, so we would plug that in, and the 80 takes the place there. Remember, if we're plugging these in, we're replacing. This is what we call substitution. And now we've got it set. They combine, they meaning the people who set this problem up, right? So I guess me. But 3x and 6x combine to 9x. And then the 3 and the 5 combine to 8. So this is CLT, or combine like terms. From here, we subtract the 8 over. And then we divide, so division. All right, so take a look at that. If you have any questions, please let me know. On to the next proof. Okay, so here, once again, and hopefully you're seeing, once you kind of get it set up, lots of these proofs are not that challenging. It's just getting that first few steps. So here, y is the midpoint of xz. That goes right here. That is what is given to us. And hopefully you guys remember our reason is given. Now, if y is the midpoint of xz, then xy and yz will be equal. And this is our definition of midpoint that allows us to know that. So def stands for definition of midpoint. All right, now this next one, number 3. If we plug those in place, 8m plus 5 goes in for xy. This is substitution. Now subtract the 6m over, subtraction. Once again, we're going to subtract that 5 over. And your final step to get what we're trying to prove here, m equals 6. So that will go here. But remember, we are never, ever going to put prove over here as a reason. Why did I get from line 5 to line 6? And the reason why is because of division. I divided both sides, and that is what I got. All right. One more proof of this type, and then I've got one other type of proof I want to look at today. So once again, this first blank is open, but that's easy. It's right there. So angle QWT and angle TWX are complementary. And our reason, remember, it is given. Okay, so now number 2. We add those two angles up to equal 90, and the reason that is our definition of complementary. Okay, we know that complementary means the two angles add up to 90. So I'm just going to put def of comp. Okay, now to line 3. Hopefully you can see they plug these in. If we plug it in, that is known as substitution. Now, this next step, there's two things you can do. You can either combine your like terms or subtract. It doesn't matter which one you do first as long as you do both. I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms. And so CLT. Then we subtract that 6 over from 90, and that will be subtraction. And then your final step here, if we divide, we are going to get x equals 28, and our reason is division. All right, so one other type of proof I want to look at today, and as you can see here, we'll start with this proof up here. So the given, there's two different pieces of information that are given to us, okay? And we want to make sure we put those both. So some people might have you put them on two different lines. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and put them on the same step. So T is the midpoint. Of SU. And also we know that UV is congruent to TU. Okay, and this is our given. Now, over here, we see what we're trying to prove. We're trying to show that ST and UV are the same. However, we're not ready for that quite yet. Instead, use what they gave you. If they gave us this information, we're usually going to use it. So T is the midpoint of SU. If T is the midpoint, hopefully you know these two sides are the same. So ST is congruent to TU. And that is because of our definition of a midpoint. Now, we know we're trying to prove that ST is congruent to UV. I'm going to change the red here. You'll see that ST is congruent to TU, and then TU is congruent to UV. So if we cut out that middleman there, ST all the way to UV, when we cut out the middleman, that is called our transitive property. All right, I'm going to do one more with you here. The last one I'm going to do today, if we look here in the bottom left here, angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. And we know that because it is given to us. Now, for this one, we need to look at this picture, and hopefully there's some angle pairs you recognize. Angle 1 and angle 2. Hopefully you remember that those are vertical angles, which means that angle 1 is going to be congruent to angle 2. That's our definition of vertical angles. And if vertical angles, remember, anytime they're across the x like that, they are congruent or the same. Now, to get to this last line, once again, we have 2 to 1, 1 to 3. So we can make the conclusion then that angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. We cut out the middleman, that is 1, which means, once again, this is the transitive property. So I don't expect you to be an expert at proofs yet. It's going to take time. However, keep trying, keep working on the problems on It's Learning. If you need help, reach out. Tomorrow we'll have a great day to ask questions. We'll do some practice problems, and hopefully we'll get you guys well on your way to being ready for the test Friday. All right, have a great day. Bye.